All right, it's the after party in the plant-based Pineal room.
Big time. That was very enjoyable.
Yeah,
Was
I wondered how you would react to this one, Michael.
that was the ball. I want to salve up. I'll tell you. I actually kind of did salve up today. I went, even though I'm leaving for Alabama today, and I had a lot to do. I went and played hockey last night because it was at 7:45. It wasn't at the typical 10 p.m. And I was feeling a little worn out this morning, so I salved up with my CBD salve.
All
And
right.
when she said that, I just wanted to encourage. Why don't I do this every day?
Why don't we do this every day?
Yeah.
I think that there's a ton to unpack. I know we don't have a ton of time because you gotta get on the road. You got a red pill friends.
No, it's a mammal store this weekend.
Oh, mammal store. It's the mammal store this weekend. Okay.
Yep.
I think that, and this is to the hardcore listener, the hardcore terrain listener, who probably had red flags going up around things like antimicrobial,
right? Yeah.
antifungal, vitamin this, vitamin that. I just try to encourage and remind the listener that we're meeting everyone where they're at, and I feel like there's always ways to integrate whatever they're doing with your terrain, with your own body, with your own terrain. You can sort of take what works, discard what doesn't, or you can just reframe when she talks about things like antimicrobial, antifungal. When you're dealing with things like cuts and wounds and first aid, like, we know that you don't want outside stuff getting in. So whatever's in the plant that might be just keeping that area clean, and just encouraging closure. Again, there's the hardcore folks who just go, there's nothing else that you need, right? The body can do everything on its own. Just drink water, fast for 10 days, and you're going to heal from everything. And I respect anyone who has the faith enough to do that when they're in a real acute healing crisis, or even a chronic healing crisis like eczema or psoriasis. I tend to think that something like a plant-based first aid makes a lot of sense. That there are things that we can have in our medicine kit, in our cupboard, in that quiver, that can be derived from the plant world or the animal-based world, that are inputs that help serve our terrain.
Yeah.
Not all healing comes completely from within, but if we are a part of nature, it stands as a reason that we can borrow and grab elements of nature to help us, to help support our terrain, to restore balance. And as she also said, we come back to this, we are living in a time where we are bombarded. The human is bombarded with chemicals that we've never been bombarded with, right? This is all fairly new. So to expect the human to adapt to every single one of these thousands of chemicals that we've never before been exposed to without any sort of external support, I just wonder if that's maybe a bit naive.
Yeah.
And then again, we just have to come back to anecdotal evidence and testimonials, where if you have these folks who have been suffering from, say, eczema, or whatever these skin conditions are, whatever conditions, she's talking about diabetes, like people with diabetes, if they're finding relief, and that relief enables you to sleep and exit this nervous system dysregulation, that to me, that's worth its weight in gold. I'll take that any day for another person. Absolutely. I would say absolutely try that out, because if it gets you out of that state, that crisis state and mindset, and into one of like, oh my gosh, I'm healing, I'm feeling better, like that can stimulate the actual healing response.
Yeah.
So,
I think there's a two sides of the same coin semantic argument going on here, where wrapped up in herbalism, you have some homeopathy elements, you have just addressing mineral deficiency elements that these plants provide. And so what you're doing, and I don't think I'm just making a semantic argument, but one could call it anti-yeast, antimicrobial, etc. You could also call it you are increasing the body's vitality by providing the nutrients it needs, and maybe even the homeopathic elements that it needs, so that healing speeds up. And then, oh my God, the microbes retreated, the yeast retreated, because the body is healing and they don't need to be there anymore. So you could look at it and say it's antimicrobial, but it's really just that the fireman got the fire out. You know,
Yeah.
the fire was put out more quickly because vitality was restored and they don't need to be around anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, one of the things that I hear is that the microzyma are indestructible,
Yep.
that they cannot be destroyed. Well, if that's the case, then can you destroy bacteria? Or are you just reverting it back to
Yeah.
microzyma? Is that
There's
all you're really
there's no anti anything.
which is exactly what you're saying. You're
Yeah.
not actually killing it. You're
No.
just going, you're no longer needed.
Yeah.
We've helped restore homeostasis in this area, this balance in this area, and
Yep.
now, yeah, you just revert back to the microzyma or some more benign form.
Yeah, but to someone who's not steeped in this terrain kind of lingo or awareness, it's gonna look like an anti agent
Yeah,
because they're not there
exactly.
anymore. Yep.
They're not. Yeah, they're not there anymore. Yeah, it's well put. There's just a lot of nuance still. There's a lot we don't know, but again, you just come back to anecdotal evidence. You come back to,
Yep.
there's been plenty of research around botanicals that show positive impact across a variety of applications and conditions.
Yeah. I mean, you could put
So
coconut oil on your skin with no plants infused into them, and that's going to be good for you.
yeah,
I mean, just to add its like base to return to nature. Like it's funny because we look at olive oil, coconut oil, jojoba as carrier oils, but they provide a lot of nutrition as well. You
yeah,
know,
nourishment and nutrition.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, my skin has always been it's interesting. I think about my own journey and like my dealing with like just inflammation and little outbreaks. I mean, we were athletes and I
yes,
just tend to run hot and sweat a lot anyway.
mm-hmm.
And around like it was like around puberty, like my body I would just get little like like inflammations or outbreaks, right? It's almost like acne on my skin, like my legs and my arms. And when you're a teenager and this is happening, like it can have a real impact on you, right? Like I would just it would definitely be something that I was self-conscious about
Sure,
as a 16-year-old, 17-year-old,
absolutely,
18-year-old. Like it persisted into college. And I remember it was bad enough that my parents are like, well, let's go to a doctor, let's go to a dermatologist. And they would look at it and they would just say, well, it's a bacterial thing. And what they prescribed was like antibacterial dial soap that I was to shower with, and like the loofahs. I don't know if you remember
yep,
those like loofahs, right? Which
yep,
just then become like a breeding ground for stuff that you probably don't want on your skin. So I'm killing the microbiome every day. Every day I'm
kill,
taking a
kill, kill,
shower.
yep,
Kill, 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 kill. And then I was like, I can't do it enough. More, 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 more of that, more of that. And that never solved the problem.
yep,
It never did. This persisted until like my 20s, until I was like, I decided I'm not doing I'm not doing that anymore. In fact, I'm not even going to use like harsh soap. I'm just going to use, in fact, most of the time, I'm not even going to use soap at all,
mm-hmm.
unless I'm filthy dirty and I
Yep,
need to get like the dirt off of me. And that is where I'm at today, where I don't necessarily shower every day. I'll go days without showering. Whereas before, if I had any sort of sweat or perspiration on my body, I would think I need to get that off right away,
yeah,
because that's going to become like a bacterial thing. It's going to be, I don't do that anymore. I've lost that fear. And also when I shower, like I'll do some dry brushing once a week. And then my shower is just like mainly water and maybe a little bit of soap in areas like my underarms where, you might have a little bit of smell.
mm-hmm.
Don't use any deodorant. And my skin has never been better.
Boom.
Never been better.
And let's not forget you've cleaned up your diet tremendously.
Cleaned up the diet tremendously. Absolutely. Thank you for reminding me. Like, I think not drinking alcohol
Mm-hmm.
has had a tremendous impact. Not consuming like sugar has had
Mm-hmm.
a tremendous impact. So thank you. And it is like a lot of it's coming from within as well. But I think the way that I treat my skin has also helped. Now,
Absolutely.
that said, in the wintertime when it's really dry,
Mm-hmm.
my skin gets dry. And I'm not like, I don't do a ton. I'm sort of just, let's back off. And I look at a product like Green Goo or, the sobs that you have. And I'm thinking to myself, why am I not doing this more often? Why am I not
Salve
nourishing
up, dude.
I got to be nourishing from the outside
Yep.
as well as hydrating from the inside with my water.
Yep.
So this has me just going, okay. And the importance, as she reiterated and reminded, the importance of that skin is like, kind of like the this is the medium. This is what's communicating with the outside world.
Yeah.
In so many ways, the healthier it can be, and this connection between your skin and the nervous system. It's really remarkable, like all these dots that get connected. And it's just, okay, what's the new habit I'm going to stack? Probably looking into a better way to nourish my skin on a regular basis with something maybe plant-based. See how that goes.
Yeah, I'm a fan. Yeah, I liked her contextualization of the skin interfacing being the first line of defense, or just the first interface with the world. And especially if you embrace a concept of swimming in an ocean of ether, and it makes it very immediate that your
Yes.
skin is just is rubbing up against the ether. And I
Yeah.
enjoyed like bringing it to that like vital, immediate present place of
Yeah.
of being in contact with the reality of ether. It's
Yeah.
yeah.
And I mean, she's got a remarkable journey just as a co-founder, as a CEO
Yeah.
of this company that just started, starts in the kitchen and then
Ah,
grows. It's
God,
just
I know.
it's a great reminder of like what you can do, what three family members can do,
Yeah.
right? You put your heads together, you go, here's a need, and then boom, you hit it right. FDA's like, okay, we're going to start researching botanicals. You can start making these claims, and boom, they just hit it at the right time. And I have a
Yeah.
lot of respect for that.
And then like, the selling it, trying to grow, bringing on a new partner, having that go to shit, feeling like you lost everything, getting it back from starting from zero, having to fire your whole family and staff. And it's a real hero's journey. It's a nice reminder for me too. I went through something similar on a much smaller scale with like bringing on a booking agent, having them shit the bed famously, and then having to basically this year is kind of effed up because of it. And then a nice reminder, like, you know what? I sit at my kitchen table and I manage this band, and I've done that for 25 years. And it's, and there's nothing to be ashamed of about that. It's like, get back to work,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Heck yeah, dude. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And you're just, this is your renaissance, right? This is your rebirth.
Yeah.
What's going to happen with the mammals? It could go meteoric.
Well, and you know what,
also,
there's always a silver lining, like because the mammals had, just not a very full calendar like we normally had to have. It made a bunch more time for Red Pill Friends to do some shows. Tore down to Texas for Confluence Festival. Like,
yeah,
if I didn't have that time in the calendar, I don't know if that opportunity I could have made room for it.
So
We're also
true,
probably
dude.
going to do Tom Cowan's new biology experience in Virginia in June, and it's because there was time in the calendar. So always a bright side.
Look at you with the silver linings. Amazing, dude.
Yeah.
I love it. I love the positivity.
Yep.
So just quick plug, mammals.love, right?
The mammals.love. Yep.
And then redpillfriends.com.
Yep. That's right.
So folks, go check out upcoming shows, and then anyone going to Confluence, you're in for a real treat.
Yeah.
Go make sure you go find Mikey and the Red Pill Friends, introduce yourself, go say hi, and then absolutely catch their music when they're performing. You will not be disappointed.
Red Pill Friends are playing opening night of Confluence. It's Thursday, right before Alex Zek. Incredible. And we're touring the 16th, 17th, 18th, and 19th in Black Mountain, North Carolina, Bon Aqua, Tennessee, which is just west of Nashville, Tulsa, Oklahoma, and in Memphis. I skipped Memphis, Tennessee. Redpillfriends.com for that tour. That tour needs all the help we can get from this community, especially because Red Pill Friends, if you checked us out, it's a very decentralized band in our message and in our awareness. We can't really play above ground venues. It's all DIY. It's church basements and house concerts and this woman Megan's garage in Tulsa. So like spread the word. If you're in those locales, please come out. And last thing I'll mention before I got to go get on a plane is we made an album this winter, Red Pill Friends, a real studio album, and it's coming out beyond any of our expectations. It's coming out great, and we should have that in April as well.
Yeah, I've heard the mixes. It's gonna blow people away. It's already blown me away. We've listened to it so many times in the kitchen.
Awesome. Thank you.
So yeah, kudos to you. I know you got to go. We don't have a ton of time. It is the 26th. Tomorrow, the 27th, is the start of our sacred secretion lunar cycle. Both you and I are observing it. I am diving all the way in on this. So we'll have more updates for folks out there. In the meantime, if you want to learn more about that or just get in touch, like book a one-on-one call, terraintheory.net, and then go find Terrain Theory official Facebook group, open to everybody. Come on in. We can have conversations about this, anything, all things terrain. Yeah, remember that Mike and I, oh man, I screwed it up. Mike, what's the disclaimer?
Something like
Nothing you
nothing
heard
you
here.
heard here should be taken as medical advice. Remember that you are light, you are love. Get to know the plants in your community, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Thank you.